And Alexander Avramov, co-founder of the Brazilian online school of creative technologies. Just 2 days in Moscow and so many fans. And also Alexander will tell us how Russian entrepreneurs can successfully scale their business in Latin America, what cultural specifics need to be taken into account, and why 600 million region can be a point of growth for a business. I will speak on behalf of the entire Latin America, and I will try to be helpful and try to immerse you in the context. Especially, I've been living there for more than 5 years in São Paulo, Brazil. A few words about myself. Most of my professional activity was in education. I founded the British High School of Design in Moscow, and we a while ago, it was a landmark project. Our graduates are creative professionals working for a number of companies, big and small, including Sber. I have always enjoyed working at the crossroads of cultures and building bridges between different countries, individuals, and countries. And in all my projects, I was looking for the possibility of arbitration, arbitrage. And the arbitrage and international expansion has always been important for me. Arbitrage is the possibility of earn profits in different markets from different projects. Where, for example, you take an educational business framework from one country to another, like from Mexico to Russia, and fill it in with ideas and people, and you create value. This is something that has always worked. In 2012, I made an exit. I exited my Russian companies, and I was, even at the time, I was researching new markets. I was interested in doing something in other countries, and through analysis, negotiations, and I finally ended up in Brazil. And with a local partner, I opened a small private university in São Paulo. Since 2020, we have attracted hundreds of students. In March and April 2020, we have the pandemic, and we decided to go on fully online. And we pivoted our entire business model to online. We found a third partner. And the next couple of years, I worked so hard that I don't even remember the details, but the company has been growing really fast. We took off vertically. In 2020, we started at level 0 in Brazil, and now we've reached $20 million. And at the end, we opened a rep office in Mexico and offered education in English. Recently, we have switched from exponential growth to marginality and revenues, and investment in education dropped at some point and has not recovered. So we we switched from expansion to margin and profit. Why I'm there? I mentioned some obvious reasons, but it's a very big and very attractive market, which has gigantic prospects and possibilities. Those businesses, business owners in the region, even unicorn companies, they have a mentality oriented not an expansion outside the region because they have 600 million people. Why expand? But on working locally and developing their local possibilities. They have this huge potential in any area. There is the downside as well. It's also a challenging and volatile market, and it's tricky. I will explain why I call it tricky. And there are two groups of factors, of reasons why you might fail in that market. First group is about communication, business culture, and mentality, and people's patterns of leading their lives and managing their businesses. And another group of factors is more objective. You can measure it. Macroeconomic, demographic situation, market structures, regulation. And my finding has been that to find the safest, most optimal way is to learn to obtain and process information for best decision making. And our perceptions may fail you. You're used to something else. You have expectations which may or may not be true. You need to develop new intuitions. There is a saying, Brazil is not for novices. Go online and read a map of cultural differences. It will help you understand the difficulties with perceptions and communications. And you will see that the culture in that region is very different from what we're used to from the US, from Western Europe. In certain aspects we're similar, but in some others we're polar different, polar opposite. I have listed here some of the key principles, very general principles of entering that market. First, we decided what is our unfair advantage where we are stronger. We had a team and
customer acquisition.
Knowledgeable in working with products, customer acquisition, IT development, which allowed us to reduce the product cycle. Next, speaking about arbitrage, when you build the structure of your business, you need to be aware of which elements of your business are local and which are not local, to find the best match. We had a team of very strong Russian leaders together with locals who were well versed in local cultures. And And it was better for IT than anything staffed locally, purely locally. But you also need to play by the local rules when you need to. Otherwise, you can make terrible mistakes. I will not go into it, but
на роль юрисконсульта или, например,
it will be a huge mistake to hire an expat as your legal advisor or legal counselor for the organization.
в новом рынке необходимо
In any new market,
взять
you need to localize.
бразильцы, мексиканцы, например,
Both Brazilians and Mexicans,
или
they support local champions, local brands, and they love sales, they love discounts. It's the case everywhere, but there it's just a passion
в центре покупают рассрочку по кредитной карте на 12 потому что
for example, a friend is buying T-shirts with delayed payments, take out payments, and
там с привлечением, с привлечения. С другой стороны, это давит и на маржу, и они
the cost of capital is very high. The interest rate is more than 5%. You have to take it into account and
как с этим работать?
factor it into your business, your economy.
Финансового инжиниринга приходится
The financial engineering methods require much more time and attention than elsewhere. Otherwise, you need to keep cash flow under control
и так далее, да?
and other obvious things.
Гибким, да, вот.
And you need to be flexible. If something isn't working, you need to change your strategy. You need to be able to
Кадр на самом деле решает, ну, как бы, если
switch.
очень много
Your team is decisive.
язычные специалисты,
We used to have more Russian language specialists. Now we have increased the number of strong local
есть
leaders. Also, there are Russian
очень много.
C-level and Russian developers. When you have an intercultural team, cultural codes, languages, it creates the ground for conflict because people can make mistakes.
Коммуникации. Он
For example, Russian style of communication is directive, sometimes too direct, and this can cause conflict in Mexico. It can cause some hidden sabotage, or sometimes it can lead to legal problems.
гармонизация, медиация.
Mediation, harmonization,
Гармонизация. Это
mediation, not meditation, no, mediation.
уделять этому времени. Как
Take time to explain to people
можно об этом
that there are differences.
многое становится понятным через
A lot of, and you understand a lot of things by living in the country and starting looking at things from this perspective. You begin to understand what you should focus on, what you may ignore,
опять-таки не всем бизнесам
where you should be careful. Not all businesses need it. There are some online businesses that need it less.
супер момент.
Which instrument
Чтобы
leaders have, what tools leaders have to bring together people with different values. It should be part of this company's strategy. This should not be just words, although words are important, but this should be integrated in your business, where you have some common denominator, where you can bring people from different cultures together. It's super important
не знаю, социализма, профсоюзов и прочих.
Latin America has a heritage of socialism, trade unions. They love taking you to court. They love fighting for labor rights. This is a right thing, but sometimes it is disproportionate
Для людей
and looks somewhat strange to people from Russia and even from Western Europe. And there is a huge discrepancy between universities, good universities and not so good universities. This gap is bigger than in Russia or in Europe. So focus on make sure to hire people who have a degree from a good university. It makes a difference. Thank you, Alexander. And I have material for 2 hours presentation. I have a few questions
Насколько они диджитализированы?
how much are they digitized? Yes, quite digitized. Brazil,
это благодатная почва для
it's a fertile ground for fintechs. They have
какие-то платформы.
lots of platforms, banking platforms, insurance platforms, accounting platforms for individuals, for companies. They're a high level of digitalization. So it can be they can be attractive for digital products. What about the government also offer services, digital services, but they are different. Bolivia is very different from Brazil and from Mexico. Brazil is good.
Сказано, то есть такое яркое
They
богатыми и
they have a gap between the rich and the poor. What I mean is,
не сформировал я вопрос.
I haven't formulated my questions right.
Меньше бедных, меньше там,
There's
классы.
in many countries there's the big middle class, but there are also rich and poor, and this stratification is strong, and the classes don't mix. We'll continue. Well, just catch Alexander in the lobby. We are very short of time. Oh, come over to Brazil.